In New York City, the nation's largest city, just got less expensive, kind of. You see, a new law that goes into effect today prevents renters from paying that dreaded broker fee. It can be as much as a full month's rent, sometimes more. It's now the landlord's responsibility. But now the FAIR Act is sparking concerns of massive rent increases. Brokers and owners who illegally collect fees can be fined up to $2,000. The New York Department of State may even revoke a broker's license. Tomasz Piskorski is a professor of real estate at Columbia Business School, and he joins us now to talk about this. Good morning, Tomasz. Great to have you with us. You know, many are touting the FAIR Act, as it's called, as a big win for renters in the city. But how are the actual rental markets reacting? Because for people who aren't from New York, this can be a very steep addition to having to move somewhere here.
Thanks for having me on. Let's first discuss a bit what's the motivation behind the law. So in New York, we have entrenched business model where often tenants have to pay the landlord broker fees. So they have very little ability to negotiate. And these fees are quite substantial. So what the legislators wants to do is essentially by eliminating these fees, they want to benefit financially constrained tenants by lowering the upfront move costs, which can be substantial. And it also could benefit less sophisticated tenants who may not fully understand the impact of these fees on the overall cost of renting. So we'll have also increased price transparency because the tenants can only focus on rent. Having said that, I'm not surprised the real estate industry has been opposing that legislation. It's an additional regulation on this industry that is already heavily regulated. Normally, what we would expect, this regulation would increase the costs of operating real estate. So the landlords would normally pass some of this cost by increasing the rents and spreading them over time. However, places like New York are somewhat peculiar because a lot of units are regulated, and as in one way or other, so it's harder essentially it may be harder to pass this cost. So as a result of that, it will make operating some of these units less viable.
Now, we just showed some stats from Street Easy showing that, fees for New Yorkers looking to move into a place can be as high as $13,000, sometimes $14,000, which I bet is just mind-boggling. $13,000 there without the FAIR Act. But could what's happening in New York have a ripple effect across the country? Could there be a domino effect in any way?
So in terms of New York, what I would expect is an increase in rents to the extent the landlords will be able to pass the fees. And since the landlords will pay the broker fees, a consolidation in the real estate brokerage industry, increasing efficiency, and also potential move to online platforms. In terms of the broader impact on the U.S. housing market, in many cities in the U.S., it's already the landlord that pays the broker fees. So we're already in the sort of equilibrium that New York is trying to move to, maybe with the exception of Boston, which is similar to New York and might see similar legislation coming. Having said that, the real estate operators could view it as one additional regulation on the industry that's already heavily regulated. So this could be seen as a sign of a potential increased regulatory burden coming forward in other markets.
Yeah, it's really changed the game for so many, both on the landlord and the renters side. Tomasz Piskorski, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.